A lot of people find sheets or spreadsheets to be the most daunting part of things. So this is just a quick top tips to get started with them. So I'm decided basically I'm building a mark book here for my class. So I've got a class of individuals here, and over the course of the year, I'm going to collect information about them. So one of the very first things I want to do is I'm going to define this top row, and this top row, so row 1, is going to be like my labels or my headings for the information below. So to make sure it stands out, I'm going to shade it a slightly different color using the formatting options. So I've made that a slightly darker gray so it stands out. Now, what I'm going to do is every time I want to be building my spreadsheet, I'm going to think about what information I want to be having about these characters in my class. So I could fill this out already, even if I don't have the information about them already. So I could have, I don't know, autumn score, spring 1 score, spring 1, spring 2, spring 3. I could have my scores in there already, my headings, and then as I go on throughout the year, I could fill the scores in. I could do this for multiple subjects along the top. I could also decide, oh, hang on, I actually want to add last year's scores. Now, there's an option. If I right click, I can go insert one to the left rather than have to just drag everything across. So I could put previous year. Then I've got a bit of comparison. Now, that means I can do some stuff with functions later on to total them, but I've started to create my spreadsheet. Now, some people prefer to see it using this, where I put my grid lines in. Just makes it stand out a little bit to some people. If that's how you want to do it, that's absolutely fine by you. Other options you have as well is you can always drag things around. So if you decide, actually, I want this column right at the front, I can just drag it there. It'll readjust my spreadsheet for me and it takes any data with me as well. So I don't think that makes much sense having that there. However, the light side, dark side one, that might make more sense to have it at the front. So again, just click on the column, grab the header and drag it across. Black line showing where it's going to go. Remember, if I double click, it will shrink to the side that fits. So those are a couple of tips to get started with spreadsheets. Sort of plan out what you want in advance, think what information you're having, and it doesn't matter if it goes on and on and on and on and on, because there's a couple of ways around that. If I had a really long spreadsheet, I could end up with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of names going down this page. But my problem is my header row has disappeared. So an option here is if you go into View, you can go to Freeze, and I'm going to freeze one row. So I could have 2 rows or up to current row if I clicked further down. But I only want 1 row, so that's top row, row number 1, to be frozen. Now that means now, as I scroll down the page, notice that my row 1 stays exactly where it was all the time. Now, over the course of the year, I might have lots and lots of different entries, so my data might go all the way across like this, and at this point, I've lost track of who it belongs to. I can't see the person's name for quick reference. So another option is I could do exactly the same with View. I could freeze. I could have, how many columns are on? Well, I've got one column is the side. Second column is the first name. So I want 3 columns worth. So if I just click there and go View, Freeze, up to current column, C. If I scroll across, no matter how much information I put, I can still see their name and if they're light side or dark side. That is another really powerful little tool for setting up an early spreadsheet, especially if you've got the feeling that the spreadsheet is going to grow and grow and grow. Apart from that, that is the basics. Check out now how to build a spreadsheet and how to start putting data in, and then maybe go and have a look at some functions as well. But those are some tips to get yourself started quickly. Conditional formatting, once you've got some data in, that might be worth a look as well, because that's where you can start colours changing depending on conditions. Have fun exploring spreadsheets.